Hi, hello. Welcome to another PartyPlex 12 FPS. The current voice you're hearing belongs to the ever fabulous Vegan Bear, and I'm in today's FPS called Technically Not Qualified, and I'm playing as Franky. I've got a guest star over here who is.
Hi, I'm Doll. I'm going to be playing Ajax. Most people in the Partyplex know him already. Arcade dork. I'm very happy to be here.
Yes, yes, yes. So, to open up the scene a little bit, I imagine this to be beginning to be after hours, where guests have started to dissipate and are leaving the partyplex. And Ajax, you're probably wandering around the arcade as there has been yet another arcade incident, this time with one of the dance machine games. You don't know how it happened, but the keys are now jammed.
Mm. Honestly, I think he's just happy for a normal incident in the arcade after so many quote unquote two ghost incidents. I don't know if you could stay calm for a third ghost.
Yeah, thankfully this is a normal broken arcade because the keys have stopped responding and Ajax probably sees the fact that they've caved in a little bit. Looks like somebody uh was stepping a little too hard on the keys and broke them.
Somebody schmooved a little too hard.
Mm-hmm. Got way into the dance machine.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do a quick little roll for funsies to see how quickly Ajax gets interrupted into his job. So I'm gonna make a
Imagine how
survival
funny
check.
Imagine how funny it would be if, like, the second he sits down and has his tools out, and someone comes up to him.
That would actually really be funny. Actually, I'm gonna go with that. So, Ajax, you just got the ticket, you just head up to the machine, and as soon as you set your tools down, you hear a, "Hey, can you help me?"
I think he perks up and, like, turns around. Mentally, he's like, I just sat down! But outwardly, customer service. Who is here? Your closing time? What's going on?
So, Ajax, you turn around and you recognize the little Razzy hoodie that is currently standing next to you. You've seen this Razzy hoodie before, and in fact, you've heard this voice before. You remember it all the way back at Nightlights when you first
The
got sucked
last
into the
ghost
machine.
incident. Yeah, the first ghost incident.
The first ghost incident. It is in fact Franky that is wearing the Razzy hoodie with the hood up, casting a cartoonish shadow over her eyes. And she's kind of looking up to Ajax like, "You're oh gosh, you're the guy that fixes things, right?"
He, like, angles himself so you can see his name tag better, and he's like, oh, it's you!
Yeah, it's me, mm, from the arcade incident thing. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember you.
good, good, good. Um, so I, yeah, after I kind of ran away and I was really overwhelmed. I need your help. I need your help with something.
Yeah, I'd be glad to. I agreed to help you last time, didn't I?
You did. You did. Uh, um, I guess follow me, and she's going to kind of grab Ajax. I'm gonna. I'm debating if she grabs him by the hand or by the shirt. I'm gonna say by the shirt. She grabs him by the shirt and starts kind of like dragging him because she does not want to hold this man's hand. And right, I
You like
forgot he's
pull
on
him up.
roller skates.
Yeah, you pull him up off the ground, and then like as you like pull back, you notice he's wearing roller skates, so you can just like drag him along without him doing anything.
Yeah. For some reason, I
He grabs
imagine
his.
him squatting and Frankie
Mm.
just kind of like meeting his with him squatting so they're eye to eye, and she just kind of grabs him by the collar and starts dragging him. He's still squatting
He,
and rolling.
he manages to grab his tools before you drag him away too far.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea, but she's going to continue dragging him. Um, and I think she's got her duffel bag with her. So, unless Ajax doesn't say anything, Frankie's going to kind of drag him through the PartyPlex, and she's going to find one of the staff entrances, open it up, and drag him through there.
Yeah, like when you go in there, eventually you'll have to cross one of those weird bridges that has it's made up like the weird metal. So he does like stop you and like tries to get you to let him stand up for that part because roller skates crouched on a bridge like that, probably not a good idea.
Frankie will allow him to stand up and do whatever he needs to be comfortable to move. But if he doesn't want to be continuously dragged by catwalks. Um
Mm.
but if you don't want to be continuously dragged by her, she's going to just let go and keep walking forward. Um
Well, I don't think he really cares much about if you drag him or not. He just wants to be standing so he doesn't fall over like a turtle.
yeah, she'll stop dragging him, but she'll continue walking around down the tunnels until she reaches an exit door and she pushes it open. You are led into an alleyway in which um, there is a dumpster, and next to the dumpster is something covered by a tarp. She walks up to the tarp and she kind of pulls it back. And, Ajax, you want to make an intelligence check here?
Totally. Intelligence. He's good at intelligence. As proof by the fact he got a 16.
16. You enter the alleyway, and as soon as
Mhm.
Frankie pulls back the tarp, you recognize what you were looking at. You are looking at the what looks like a very mutilated body of Razzy. He has his some of his plates have been removed. You can see the endoskeleton underneath his chest, and you can see a bunch of wires haphazardly stuck together, tied and messy. You also see a shit ton of pipe cleaners um, that are kind of haphazardly tied together in order to keep the thing semi-organized, but even with the pipe cleaners there, keeping wires together, it's a mess. This,
Yeah,
unfortunately, is probably something that Ajax has only seen in his nightmares as a technician. So,
yeah. He's got a couple of different thoughts. First is, that's where Razzie went. Okay, then. Second is, who let this kid try and fix an animatronic? This is, oh. And then he's gonna like look down at her and be like, "Kid, did you kill Razzie Razbear?" In like a very joking tone, so you know it's obviously just kidding.
you say that, but she tenses up and looks incredibly guilty as she shakes her head like, "No, no, 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 no. He's not dead. No, he's still alive." And she puts down the duffel bag and reaching in, she pulls out his head. the head is perfectly intact in a single piece, but it looks like he's soundly asleep. You know, all of Razzy's information is in the head, and he doesn't really need the body to work, so he's fine.
Yeah, this looks like something out of a horror movie, I'm gonna be honest.
I know. I tried giving him upgrades, but I didn't really know how, and I didn't understand where each wire went. And so I was trying to kind of like follow the instructions and put each wire where I thought it goes, but it turned out like this, and I don't know what to do anymore. So,
Well, it's a good thing you came to me. And he, stretches a bit, places his tools down, is like, because this is kind of my expertise. I may be an arcade technician, but I'm good at robots.
that's good. And she's kind of going to go up to the body and is just going to inspect it over like, okay, first of all, she's going to set the head down beside the body and she's going to look over it one more time. Well, where do we start with this?
Well, we should probably start with the wiring and stuff. Get them as together as we can in a functional manner. And then once we've got that base done, then we can start fixing the parts that are broken. You always have to have somewhere to work with when you're doing something like this.
She nods along. I'm a little curious on how the two would go about fixing Razzy, or how we would go about pretending that they're fixing Razzy.
Mm. Also, I kind of feel like he would use this as a teaching moment to actually teach her how to do this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, of course. If he's not teaching her, she was going to ask a ton of questions about how everything here works, about what each component actually does, and why he's doing the things he is, and why are you doing it
Yeah.
like that, huh?
Yeah. You don't even need to ask the questions because he's basically gonna act like he's teaching a class to you. He is teaching you his skills.
Okay.
And Zen had a good suggestion. We could roll Tinker Tools and stuff.
Yeah, I'm currently trying to look up how you use Tinker's tools for this. So, I think for now, I'm just going to say that this is probably going to be uh possibly sleight of hand with proficiency in Tinker tools.
Yeah. Well, I've got
So,
a roll I can do where I can just roll Tinker Tools on DMV, so I'm just gonna do that.
funky. Okay. You go do that.
Yep. I am proficient in Tinker Tools. Yippee!
Yippee! Go be proficient in Tinker tools. I mean, I believe Franky is also proficient in Tinker tools. So,
Mm.
yep, there they are. Tinker's tools.
Also, wow,
Well,
Ajax,
what?
Ajax really earning that best technician because he just got a nat 20. Let me show you.
Oh my god, nat 20.
Dude, good at his job.
Of course, that's why. Man, we have been wasting his talents on arcades. This is where he should have been.
He built 3 sentient animatronics. Of course he's good at this.
That is true, that is true. So with a nat 20, and especially with a nagging child by your side, you are able to put Razzie into a much less horrifying state. He doesn't look particularly good, but I think that's due to the fact that he was in an alleyway for a good few months now. Maybe a good few weeks. I'm not sure if it's been months now, but the paint's chipping, it's looking a little dented in a few places, but otherwise, yeah, it's
The
been
bear
months at
needs
this
a
point.
bath.
Please don't put him in water. He'll short circuit. But he's definitely in a much better state. He definitely looks much more operational now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
How good of a listener would Frankie be about all this?
I think I don't really want to roll for this because I know that Franky, if you're talking to her about animatronics and anything that's technology related, she will listen intently. She will sit there and she will absorb every piece of information. Actually, I'll roll intelligence to see how much information she actually takes in because I know she's listening. It's just I want to know how much she takes in.
How much does she comprehend?
21.
21?
She comprehends everything. She is comprehending the hell out of uh, Ajax right now. This is like talking to an autistic kid about their special interest. Of course, they'll listen to every word you're saying.
Artificer to artificer communication.
Artificer to artificer communication. They're both on the same wavelength right now.
They're both extremely autism about robots.
They are. But I think but once Ajax has finished putting all the pieces together and I think like closing up the chest piece or the leg and stuff like that, Franky picks up the head and is going to try uh and is going to place it on top of the neck for the body. And there's a soft little click click. The head looks really distractingly clean compared to the body with much brighter paint.
I
But
mean, he saw her keep it in her duffel bag. It's presumably been less exposed to the elements.
it has been less exposed to the elements. But you now see Razzy in one piece in front of you, and he's not currently turning on.
Hmm. Ajax is obviously gonna start checking to see what the issue is.
With a nat 20, it's definitely not with any of the components or anything that's inside of Razzy. You've made sure. There's probably I'd probably say there are a few broken components. You were able to put them back together in one piece, but you
Oh,
haven't really gone inside for to replace any components. At least you
one
haven't
second, I'm being
mentioned that you
paid.
have done. Oh, okay.
Thanks.
Do 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 do. Commercial break.
Sorry, they were paging me
Oh,
about dinner being ready.
ooh, fair enough, fair enough.
Burger can wait. We're having fun.
Burger can wait. Burger. Okay, back from commercials. Uh, so I don't think you've mentioned the fact that Ajax goes back in for to replace or any of the broken components. So I think that might be something. He's definitely noticed a few that aren't functioning or look like they've been burnt.
Yeah, I think he's gonna squint at that and be like, stand up, dust himself off, and say, "Okay, kid, you wait a little bit. I need to go get some extra parts."
Well, what do I do?
Uh,
Just wait?
yeah, I mean, unless you want to come with me,
I'm coming with you.
okay, cover him back up.
She grabs the tarp and she's going to throw it over Razzy's animatronic body. And she's going to grab the duffel bag and she's going to trot up next to Ajax.
Yeah. He he turns to her and says, "Okay, kid, if anyone asks about you being with me, our story is that it's bring your niece to work day and that you are related to me."
She looks up to him. Just two people that look wildly apart. Is Ajax. Isn't Ajax like a tune?
Yeah. Hey,
So there's
they
a
never.
tune with a real kind human who is his niece.
Hey, Toons can get married to non-Toons and then adopt non-Toon children. Who's to complain about this?
That is true. That is true. We love we
Logan
love
was a kid.
we love using the excuse of adoption.
Yeah.
Yes, for those who did not know, Franky is in fact real kind. She is not a toon. Though she does have toony hair.
Even more excuse. They can just point to the hair and be like, she's half-Toon.
That is true, that is true. You could use that as an excuse. But she's going to continue trotting next to Ajax, and she has her hood down. And I think she also has her hair down, so it's not within her spiky ponytail. It's instead kind of like fluffy and messy all over. And yeah, you can notice the fact that this kid does not brush her hair. It is covered in knots and it's awful looking. Almost half as awful looking as Razzy.
Yeah, he he doesn't quite know where the boundary about that is, so he's not sure if he should mention it or not. So he's going to focus on the task at hand, but he is concerned.
Yeah. She continues following behind Ajax and kind of seeing what components he grabs, like watching him like a hawk and making notes about every component he's grabbing and why.
Hmm. I have a question.
Yes.
Would Frankie have known about the triplets or no?
Hmm. I think with how much she's been crawling around in the vents, she was bound to come across them at one point.
Yeah. Okay, because at one point he can't find a specific part he needs down near the floor, it's more near the ceiling. And so he like tries to discreetly ask the triplets to grab it for him through the vents.
Grab what
He,
discreetly for him? I'm sorry.
a part that was too high up on the shelf for him to grab without getting a ladder, and ladder plus roller skates, not good idea.
Fair enough. She doesn't really react, but I think she's a little surprised with the fact that, like, Ajax just asks these random spider people who have been harassing her through the vents. I don't know if they've been harassing her, but terrorizing her or something along those lines whenever she goes through the vents. Just like
It
helping
could
him
be
out.
Yeah, it could be pure miscommunication, as in those three are uh, very energetic kids and don't get to interact with people around their age much, so they were probably just trying to talk to her and be like, "Yo, you're you're a kid too, let's talk." But they're spiders and they go very fast, so it probably looked terrifying, and she ran before they could talk.
Yeah, I think she's had one too many run-ins with the spider kids within a very dark event where she just sees their eyes glowing at them, just going, you, let's talk, and just skittering really fast towards her. Also Harlequin at from time to time.
So yeah, if you use the vent, you're bound to bump into one or the other.
One or the other. but she just kind of furrows her brows a little bit exasperated on the fact that these terrors are just helping out Ajax. She saw Trick once, precisely once, and never again.
But yeah, once he coincidentally finds the part he needs near the floor, he has gotten all the things he needs and is like, all right, let's go before anyone sees us.
What were those things?
Huh?
Those things. And she points up to where the part was. You ask somebody. Who was that?
Uh, and he's like sweating because people, most people are not supposed to know about the triplets. The triplets are kind of a PartyPlex secret, so he's just like, Harlequinette, they were in the vents conveniently. It's a plausible excuse for anyone who knows Harlequinette.
She's going to squint at Ajax, and I'm going to. Actually, I'm gonna do a perception check to see if she even knows if she even saw the triplets, because if she did, she's squinting. If she didn't, she's like, yeah, Harlequinette in the vents. Like they normally are. 22. Squinting very much at Ajax, not believing a word he just said.
His mask has like digital cartoon sweat drops on it, and he's looking away from you.
I don't think Harlequinette is a little itty bitty spider.
You don't say.
You're lying to me.
Is it really that big a deal that you know what was in there?
Well, I want to know who that is.
And he's like weighing his options, and he's like, okay, but you can't tell anyone.
Of course. Not a single soul.
Promise. And he like holds out his hand for a pinky promise.
She very much is looking at the pinky promise, and she sighs, rolls her eyes. Pinky promise, and she holds up her pinky.
They do the sacred ritual of pinky promise, and Ajax feels confident that she will keep the secret now.
I'd imagine, like, in movies and stuff, or like in some sort of cartoonish way, there's some sort of very dramatic fantasy music for the fact that a pinky promise has been made. Frankie's a little
Yeah,
scared by it.
I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere in the ToonKind server that pinky promises were like a big deal for tunes.
They are, they
Like,
are. I remember that being part of the lore.
yeah, binding oath.
They are an oath of binding. Yeah.
Mhm.
That is true. Frankie's not a tune. She doesn't have to keep her
Yeah.
promises. But I don't I will say I don't currently have plans for her to reveal the secret, but she could blackmail Ajax with this, so watch out. But like,
He's like,
yeah, she makes
okay,
her pinky promise.
yeah. It's like, okay, those were the triplets. Uh, they're like DJam's kids, little mini
Jim had
spiderlings.
kids?
Yeah, I made them for him.
You made him kids?
Yeah,
Why?
I didn't want him to be lonely.
She is a little confused by that, but yeah, okay. You made kids for DJam. Kind of
Yeah.
weird of you, but like, sure.
In any other context where we're not talking about robots and our robot makers, this would sound so weird. Insight
Yeah,
check for
sure.
what,
I'll
then?
I'll insight check on if there's anything more to why Ajax would make kids for DJam. I don't
Sounds
know, man.
so
That's kind of
weird.
gay of you.
That's kind of gay of you, dude.
That's a dirty 20.
Homophobic,
Oh my
homophobic dog, but it's Franky. I know what you are.
god. I'm gonna have to draw that later. But she's looking up at... Okay, hang on. Let me get my bearings. She's looking up at Ajax and she kind of raises an eyebrow. You made kids for DJam. That's kind
Yep.
of gay. Are
I think he
you,
like bursts out laughing in shock at that.
She's kind of looking at Ajax. She's waiting for the laughter to die down before going,
Yeah.
hang on. Are you gay for DJam?
I'd sure hope so, otherwise that'd make it very weird between us.
She doesn't know how to respond to that. She was not actually expecting him to be dating one of the robots, the big motherfucking scary spider robot.
This man smooches the spider without shame.
This man smooches the guy that gave her nightmares for a week. Because if you remember Gregory's perspective from Security Breach when going through that section, that is fucking horrifying. That was actually one of the parts that scared me genuinely.
Yeah. It's not DJ's fault he's so brief, but also Zen just said Ajax should have been a bard SMH.
Oh my god. But she doesn't know how to respond to that information as she just kind of looks exasperated at Ajax. I think something in her mind clicks on why he's so good with robots, but she's going to continue moving forward.
He was good at robots before he started dating the spider.
Yeah, but this is her logic right now, so. Like, you probably feel like respect from Franky dropping by 10 points. But
I
if you.
think he I think he would realize what she's thinking and is like, hey, I was good at tech stuff way before I met DJM. Don't get it twisted.
She's
It is
eyeing him
pure
suspiciously.
coincidence.
Can't believe Franky is homophobic. It's not for the fact that she's homophobic, it's for the fact that she's not behind the idea of Ajax kissing robots. But
She's
actually, I
gonna
think
be
she's against.
appalled. Against what?
I think she's against the idea of any of the animatronics here in the PartyPlex being kissed.
Oh, so she's
But
homophobic. She's gonna be
specifically against the
appalled when
animatronics here.
she's gonna be appalled when it's revealed that Razzy is in a QPR with the rainbow lady.
Oh, she is. She is going to be appalled at the fact that almost every single animatronic within this place has a partner.
I mean, they're people too.
Well, not yet, but once they start kissing. But I think
Ajax is
Frankie's
just
in
like,
one of those stages in life in which kids think kissing is really gross.
and
So I think she's just kind of
it,
like, that's weird.
look,
That's
do you want my
gross.
help or not?
I do.
Okay, then quit judging my lifestyle.
I can have both. And she's going to start marching towards Razzy's body in the alleyway. But yeah, she's gonna slam the door open, a little bit upset by the information she has learned about one of the more sane people within the Partyplex, and she's gonna pull the tarp off of Razzy and is like, okay, please get him working.
Yeah, alright. Just give me a second to get set up. And he will go back to fixing Razzie and teaching her how to fix him.
She's gonna sit there and she's going to listen one more time, and I'm going to re-roll intelligence for her because I think she still is mulling the over the information she learned. She just can't believe it. Dirty 20. Her attention's a little bit broken, but it's not enough to distract her. So Franky, what the fuck? So Razzy's components are being repaired, and I think Ajax would have had the wisdom to grab another battery because there's
Mhm.
no way in hell with how long Razzy has been missing that he's got any energy to be moving about.
Yeah. Also, sorry if you start hearing background noise, but the family is getting impatient, so I must go get burger.
Right
So there
now?
might be background noise. Yeah.
Mm. Will we be able to continue?
Yeah, there's just background
Okay.
noise.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
His
so
church
keep
turns
going.
out in 20 minutes, that better. Yeah. No, he's a goner. But you replace the
Mm.
battery, and I think after a little bit of an external startup, since I don't think he's really able to turn himself on. But I'm a little curious on what it would look like. But I think the first thing that happens once Ajax locates the power button, or however you turn on an animatronic, and gets him working, his eyes flip open, and Razzie kind of looks around for a moment, and you can see the light begin to fill his eyes as he glances around frantically. With a little bit of buzzing and a little bit of whirring, he begins.
Sorry, a family member is
It's
getting
okay.
ice. It's
It's
loud.
okay. With a little bit of buzzing and a little bit of whirring, he begins to sit up, and yeah, we can't hear the eyes. He sits up and he looks face first, and he begins to face forward towards Ajax. Hello.
He like yeah, he waves lightly at Raz and he's like, "Good morning. You're in a bit of a rough shape. Luckily you had a friend come get me to help you." And he like moves a little so Razzie can see Franky.
Razzie uh looks down to Franky, and he just kind of nods. Good job, superstar. You did an
Oh.
amazing job. And he's going to start kind of standing up. And uh I'm gonna do I think a dex check for him. I think I should hypothetically have his character sheet. If I don't, I will cry. Yep, there it is.
I can't imagine how happy Frankie must be to see her dad in working order.
So with 16, he's able to, after a good long while of not being functional, to get his limbs moving. But it's in a very slow and very careful manner as he begins to stand up and lean himself against the wall for balance as he calibrates himself.
You alright there?
Oh yeah. Ah, new installed new motors. I don't recognize this model.
Yeah, your old ones were kind of busted.
Hmm. He glances back down to Ajax and Franky, and I think Franky is in fact hiding a little bit behind Ajax as Razzy looks down at her. But he doesn't glare too long at her as he shifts his attention over to Ajax. I don't. It's going to take a good long while. It's going to take a while for me to become used to moving again. How long have I been inactive?
Uh, and he like thinks about it a bit, thinking about when Razzie went missing to now, and he's like, couple months?
Couple
You've been gone for a
months.
long time.
He's genuinely surprised to hear the fact that he's been gone for months. Oh, goodness. Gone for months? Oh, everybody must be so worried. Could you.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm fully used to these motors. Could you help me with the balance?
Oh, of course. And he like reaches out to help.
Razzie will accept the help he can get from Ajax for balancing purposes, but. And he will kind of limp along, being very careful with his movements as he tries to kind of reteach himself how to walk. It has been a while since he's been able to do that. But Frankie is kind of shyly following behind with Razzie and Ajax. And Razzie kind of looks down to Ajax and, have I missed anything? I think with being gone for a few months, I believe I must have missed some events.
You look at him and it's very visible that he's like got so many digital sweat drops, and he's like, yeah, there's been some stuff.
Like, what?
Um, bunch of new hires, couple of new animatronics. Uh, ship recently just got out of repairs. There was a attempted kidnapping.
Attempted
Um,
kidnapping?
give me a second, I'll get to that.
Okay,
Lexi
okay.
went on a self-discovery journey, so she had she had her whole thing.
Good for
There
her.
was a rogue endoskeleton. I dealt with that though. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there was a report lately that people tried to break in. The security guards dealt with that. Um,
Oh,
I'm
good.
dating G-Jam. I don't know if you know me, but I am. Uh,
Actually, that's a very interesting point. Does Razzie know about him dating DJ? I'm gonna make an intelligence check for that. Would he know that piece of information? 18. He probably has. Hmm. He does know that piece of information. I don't know
well,
how,
I'm
but he's not surprised.
That's extremely funny because I was thinking that like DJ and Ajax wouldn't have gotten together by before Razzie went missing, so it's very funny to imagine that he saw those two immediately clocked what would happen and was like, yeah, that don't surprise me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably was friends with DJam, and uh I think DJam kind of looked particularly happy about something. And then
mm.
Ajax was also particularly happy, and the two dots connected in his head, and he's like, "Oh, oh, good for them, good for them." So to
It's
have
like,
this piece of confirmation feels like, yep, yep, I knew that. Good job, me. I'm so
yeah, and
observant.
it's like, um, they reopened the theater.
Oh, That's
Yeah, Jackie
amazing.
was really happy about that. I don't think you know who Jackie is. They closed the maze.
Oh, when did Jackie get introduced?
Um, assumedly after Razzy was gone, because she's one of the newer ones. No? She's in
No.
here for now?
I mean, he's only been gone
Zen
for
has
months, not
yeah.
like a
Zen
year.
has the final say on this, so Zen, what's your verdict?
Zen, what is the verdict?
Okay. So
Okay.
you do know who Jackie is.
Yeah. So he does know who Jackie is, and he's just, oh, oh goodness gracious, I feel bad for having missed the opening of the theater. I wish I could see how happy Jackie was about it.
Yeah, she was ecstatic. Her and a couple other employees put on a show. They were great. Um,
Are there any recordings of the
yeah, just
show?
oh, definitely. Don't worry, I can show you later. Yeah, a lot of stuff has happened. Got a lot of new hires and stuff and all that. Yeah, back to the attempted kidnapping. Yeah, that was something. Yeah, Ajax would have filmed it. There's been sightings of a lady running around in a rainbow rabbit costume, and one incident, she tried kidnapping a kid. The security bots dealt with her, but she got away. Um, yeah, we don't know if she's gone for good, so just kind of be wary of that.
Razzie is not all too pleased to hear the news on the fact that there has been a kidnapping in the
Attempted.
Partyplex. Attempted kidnapping
Attempted.
in the Partyplex. He's just. She hasn't been caught yet?
No, but the clowns are working on it. I mean, the security clowns. DC would probably still deck her if she saw her, but it's mostly just the security clowns working on it.
Razzie has trust in Cece to be able to beat the hell out of a child kidnapper, but if given the opportunity, but he does not look very pleased, and for now he brings like a hand to his forehead to just kind of, I guess, rest it. He's I cannot iterate how much he's not happy with the news, but he sighs and he kind of rubs his eyes. Yeah, rubbing his temples, there we go. But now he's rubbing his eyes as he's just, we can I can help deal with that in once I'm feeling a lot better.
Yeah, once you're looking better too, you are not in a good state to go see your friends again yet. I'm pretty sure they would not take it well.
He looks down at himself and yeah, no, he looks like garbage. Because he has been garbage for a few months. And he's just like, oh. Lexi can't see him. I don't know if she could smell him. He wouldn't
Oh,
smell good.
I think Ajax would like remember the issues with the other animatronics. Like, um, what state were your friends in the last time you saw them?
Hmm. I guess in working condition. And you can roll insight on the way that he says that, but
You got a 12.
I'm you know what? I'll roll deception. Last time he saw his friends, they were in working condition and they looked wonderful and amazing. And they definitely did not have any broken parts. No siree. That is not the last time he saw them, and he doesn't want to think about the last time he saw them. Goodness gracious.
I'm
Nat
fine.
20. Yep. Last time he saw them
Ajax,
was in perfectly working condition. He didn't do anything.
yeah, and Ajax believes you, and he's like, okay, so I should probably give you a heads up before you do see them again. There's some issues. Um, the repairs weren't perfect. Uh, Lexi is blind. She got the
Oh,
worst of it.
goodness.
Um, Chip just got back from her voice box fixed, so she's still having some issues with that.
Mm.
I Archie definitely hasn't been fully fixed, but I don't know how much it's affecting him because he's not really visibly had any issues that I've seen, but I haven't seen him much, so there could be some things that I haven't noticed. Either way, the other main three members of the band did have some issues with repairs. They actually changed Lexi and Chip's attractions and like swapped them because of the changes, and Lexi can't really drive if she can't see.
Hmm.
Just had to warn you before you saw them.
So it's no longer Lexi's Raceway? Or however it was
It's
called.
Senora Speedway.
Senora Speedway. He does sound very sad and upset on the fact that it has been changed and the fact that Lexi has
Mm.
lost her raceway.
And he's like, not all bad though. Since Lexi's Labyrinth had issues and they had to shut it down, they're changing it to bumper cars, so she'll be able to drive a little bit at least.
I think it somehow, in a way, Razzy finds that a little bit funny as he lets out a small chuckle on the fact that she's getting bumper cars. But
Bumper car.
he instantly feels bad for laughing at that idea and just kind of shuts his mouth. But I'm glad everyone's doing all right. So, who are some of the new hires? I'd like to give them a PartyPlex hello.
Um, there's Benji. He's a little bird. He had a crazy first week. People still tell stories about it. There is Eggs. He's a night shift. People don't talk to him much, but he's a pretty nice guy. James, he was one of the people in the theater. He's in the kitchens now, I think, in one of the restaurants. He's pretty cool. Yeah, I mentioned Eli. I said his name. Eli is also here. He's
Mm.
Everyone's got mixed feelings about him because he's very likable, but he's also very clumsy. So it's a kind of he's a good person, but he makes a lot of mistakes. And Kestrel, he's very grumpy, but he's part of the night guards. He's pretty good at his job, at least. I can respect him, and I like hanging around him. I don't know how you would feel about him because you haven't met him, but I'd say he's pretty cool. And there's one other, but I don't know if she's actually new. Uh, there's this rainbow lady I keep seeing around Kestrel, and I can never tell if she's like a new person or if she's been here a while. No one's really told me.
I'm gonna insight that to see if Razzie can decipher who's the rainbow lady. Because he does not want. Because I don't want him mistaking it for the rainbow rabbit. Like rainbow rabbit, rainbow lady? Hmm. Awfully suspicious. 19. Who's the
19.
rainbow lady?
Nova.
He clocks that. And he's just like, oh. Oh, she's still around?
Oh, you know her?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Nova's been here for a good long while. She's just a little
Oh.
bit shy.
Well, yeah, she's been here. Lately, she's been hanging around Kestrel, like I said.
Nova is an accidental red herring. Yeah, we can cut that one out
That's
of the
not.
episode. But yeah, Razzy nods along to all of the information that's being uh told to him. Hmm. That's good, that's good. I'm glad outside of the kidnapping, everything's alright. And it should be even
Ajax
better
mind
once I'm
flashing
in
back.
working condition. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Ajax mentally flashing back to the ghost.
It's fine.
They're not
It's
really a
normal.
problem. He doesn't have to mention it. They're not a problem.
Razzy doesn't need to know everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Ajax like thumbs up and is like, I'll do my best to get you back in working order.
Yeah, that's good. I had imagined that. Actually, where is Ajax going to be bringing Razzy?
Uh well honestly he was waiting to discuss that with both of Razzy and Franky when they bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I guess Razzy would be curious on where exactly he's going to be led to. Like, hmm, I don't think it'd be the best idea to bring me back to my room in this condition. I
Oh,
really
definitely
wouldn't
not.
want to. I wouldn't want to terrify any of the kids, or bring dirt into my room.
There's room in parts and service for personal projects I could put you in, but I was your friend would want to visit you, right? I was trying to see what your decision was on where you would go from here. And he like looks down to Franky.
Franky has been kind of lagging behind, and she hasn't been saying anything. She's kind of been looking down to the floor. But, uh, Razzie kind of nods along and is just like, hmm, I think parts and service would be perfectly fine. I really don't like the idea of anybody seeing me like this right now.
Yeah. All right.
I'll give
And
a
it's
proper
like,
hello to all of my friends once I have a new fresh coat of paint, a few new replaced parts, and once I've had the time to regain my peppy attitude.
mm, okay, rolling perception from Zen.
Oh, rolling perception for Zen. Zen, what are you
Zen is
doing
the only
first?
one allowed to avoid the rolls in the chat, and I think that's funny.
What?
Hi, Zen.
Hi.
Hi, Zen.
I'm
I,
just here to give you the
I
results
was
of your rolls.
yeah.
Hi, everybody.
I,
Give that was
I,
Razzy's roll.
yeah, I got an idea. I was
Do you
saying,
want to roll?
I think it's funny how Zen is the only one who can order us to do rolls in chat because server owner privileges.
Hey, also DM. I mean, if there was something Night Terror related, MJ could do it too.
Yeah, just, anyone
Honestly, if
goes in the basement, you two, quick, think fast, roll perception.
but yeah, I got a 6 for Razzy and a 19 for Franky.
Yeah, so Razzie doesn't notice shit. He's busy trying to like stay on his own 2 feet. But like as Ajax goes looking for a project room, there are a couple that have some parts in them that people are working in, and then you try one handle and it's locked altogether, which is not the usual for project rooms. Uh, yeah, and then you can find an empty project room.
Yeah. He's
Locked
gonna
room.
like yeah. He's
Suspicious.
gonna usher the other two into the project room he's claimed, but he's gonna like look at that locked door and mentally think, is it worth the privacy invasion to see what's in there?
I think there's some kind of log for employees where you can like reserve these rooms, so you could see who has that room reserved.
Yeah, he's gonna check which other parts and service member is reserving this room because he doesn't remember anyone mentioning anything.
Well, and this might explain it because it's not a parts and services member. It's actually the security guard Bailey. I mean, these rooms aren't technically restricted to technicians. So maybe Bailey's got a robotics hobby that she just hasn't mentioned. Hmm.
He's gonna squint at that a bit and like keep that tucked in his mind because, hey, if he does like robotics, maybe another person for the robotics club. I don't know.
You're gonna have to talk to her afterwards.
Yeah, he's gonna like shake his head and go back into the room he's just claimed and shut it behind him and lock it so they can talk.
That's fair. I think Razzie would have taken position and probably taken one of the seats closest to the workbench or something along those lines. Maybe sitting on one of the tables. But Franky is sitting on the furthest corner she can from him.
Yeah, I think Ajax is finally gonna say something. He's gonna turn to her kid and is like, okay, why are you so quiet? Earlier you were very vocal about judging me for dating the spider, and now you can't say a word? Something's wrong.
She furrows her brows. She did not want to be reminded of the fact that he's dating the spider. But she's very much upset by that.
You did the homophobic dog thing, now you must live with it.
The homophobic kid. Tragedy. But she's just kind of furrowing her brows at him. I don't think she says anything back. She doesn't. She just stares at him angrily.
He's gonna look between her and Razzie and is like, okay, time to channel my inner Anna. And like leans against a wall and is like, alright, you two, what's going on?
Is there something going on?
There's some sort of weird tension going on between you two, and it's concerning me.
And Franky is going to slouch further back, and she's kind of hiding into her hoodie. Razzie just kind of looks towards her and looks back to Ajax. I do believe that before my disappearance, we didn't leave on the best of terms between me and Franky.
Well, now you're awake and you've got a chance to remedy it.
Oh, I think the two are just kind of like looking at each other once again. Razzie isn't really 100% sure on how to approach. Franky doesn't want to discuss it at all. But the two
Yeah.
are kind of looking at each other awkwardly.
Ajax summoning Anna in his mind, like, okay, Why don't we start on what the argument was you were having before this so we can solve it?
It wasn't an argument.
Hmm. Then what
We
was
didn't.
it?
It was. It was a series of events. A series
And
of events that I. Mm. He is trying so hard to talk about this. He is very much the type of person who is not used to bringing up bad stuff. Actually, I'm going to do a quick little wisdom thing for Razzy, because this is completely out of his depth to be so negative. 13. I apologize. I don't think I have the words to describe fully what has happened. But between me and Franky, I'm not very proud of the events that had gone down with me and her.
mm,
I can discuss it with you more once I have the proper words to put everything that has happened, but I think for now it's best that you repair me, I do my usual thing, and I will return back to you.
okay.
Because I think sooner or later it will have to be discussed. And he looks back at Franky, and Franky slouches even further into her hoodie.
You're like, I've got someone who's good at helping with that, you know?
Oh, you do? Who?
My sister, Anna. She's really good with the whole strong emotions and dealing with them thing.
Hmm. I don't think Razzy knew the fact that Ajax had a sister, and so he raises his brows like, oh, you have a sister?
Yeah.
Well, that's very nice. I think I would appreciate some help working through these emotions and what I should do. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Don't worry about it. I'll talk to her about it when I get home later. But alright. And he like sets his tools back down. He's like stretches again. He's like, okay, let's get to it.
And I think with Ajax starting to make Razzy all nice and shiny and stuff, I think I'm going to close the FPS around here. But
Mm.
Frankie sits around in the corner for a little bit longer, and I'm going to do a quick stealth check for her. $18. Ajax, you're focused on making sure that Razzy's in working condition and hopefully finding a time and day to repaint him and to make him look all nice and stuff. But as you look
Yeah.
back to the corner where Frankie was, she has disappeared and you haven't heard her leaving.
He's like gonna frown a bit and he's like, not again. But
Oh, certainly again.
besides, yeah. If the kid needs time to herself, he's not gonna chase after her. He will leave the therapy to Anna for when she gets in contact with these two. His strong suits is robotics. It's-
That's fair, that's fair. But I think with Ajax having everything prepared and everything in order for um, Razzie to be fixed, I think the next time that Razzie is seen or featured, he's in a fully repaired state and looks as if he's just brand new. So,
Awesome.
thank you everybody for listening in to Technically Not Qualified. Thank you, Doll, for playing. Thank you, Zen, for your brief cameo. And thank you all for listening once again. Have a razzle dazzle day. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.